Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean, and this game is shaping up to be a banger. We've got DevilsRath. He's playing, he's on ISFW split. And then Hermaios playing a split between Forglar and Savage Tundra. So yeah, the two of the best players in the game currently. Hermaios, always usually hovering in top 10, and then DevilsRath, who is kind of on and off in terms of activity. He also shares his account with like 5 other people, so you never really sure who you're playing against when you get DevilsRath. Him and like Moles, 1909, and Hardy, and forget who else. There's a bunch of them Brits just hogging that one account and all their runes. Really broke the matrix with that one, because they all kind of live in the same area geographically, and they're all buddies online and whatnot, so they just kind of split the difference with their runes. But yeah, on this map, I mean, this map can sort of go either way. We've had a few games on this map that make bum rushes, like players make bum rushes for the side fonts. And then other times it's just a complete turtle match, and the player with the better late game usually wins. But in this case, Hermaios being a little bit aggressive early on with that augur, training some no-condo onto that boy. And he's definitely playing monks here. He's got both augurs out already. He's got no-con guide. So new monks, after the bevy of changes that they received in the patch, they're really solid now. There's a bunch of ways you can run them. I haven't agreed with every change that Alakami has made, but one thing I will say is that in a lot of cases, there's a very diverse selection of ways you can run decks now. Like wizards, monks, crystals even. Like there's a lot of times with these decks, what you'll see is that no two are really the same. Like there's optimal ways to play them, of course, but usually you can run the same deck twice, or like the same theme twice, and never have the exact same deck. So like there's multiple variants, is what I'm trying to say. I like that. I like there being those differences in a game that's like still like almost 20 years old now. We're still finding new ways to diversify themes. But that hammer strike is probably going to make Hermaios a bit upsetty spaghetti. He's got Magnus and Ethereal Soldier on his ass now, and I guess Exemplar here with Punish and Call upgraded, going to take it to that augur, punishing his audacity to go up for a hit. I don't know about going up for a hit there. I think when you're against IS, and especially a player of DevilsRath's caliber, you kind of have to be aware of taking engagements like that when you know there's something. Oh wow, Gale! Holy shit, that's a clutch Gale Force. It doesn't really save the augur, but I mean. So the main thing here is that it puts the Ethereal Soldier over the chasm, so it's gonna spawn, or it's gonna die to incorporeal after it loses Ghost and just drops right into that hole. So that's a pretty nice Gale there. And I mean, is that the end of the game though? Probably not. Devils has backup. I mean, Devils to me seems like the type of player who doesn't surrender early. Usually when you get up to higher ranks, it's a little polarizing, because some good players will immediately recognize that a situation has cost them the game, and other times they realize that their opponent is worse than they are, and they can come back from a bad position just by outplaying. So I feel like Devils falls into that latter camp. And I mean here, no condo will trigger once, but I mean, all he has to do is trigger that with like Magnus, and then Barbarian Exemplar can get a barrage here, punish that 7 AP, and then call the rest for additional damage. I mean, it'll be a kill, like 1-for-1, but it did cost Hermaios a Gale Force. So I think Devils, it cost Hermaios a Gale, but it cost Devils the champ. So we'll see. Oh, he's actually going for this augur. That is an interesting choice. He misses the first attack, but then does a follow-up barrage. I mean, it's not enough for a kill. I would be concerned about this augur just leaping into this top font, because Devils has like nothing over there, and this augur is gonna have full AP next turn. Can he actually get up there? Hold on, let me count. 6, 2, 3. No, he's actually 1 short. Okay, so maybe not too bad, because you can't contest IS fonts with the relic. So there's a chopping block Mercy actually from Devils. So Devils taking a page out of Soulsphere's book and then doing a Soul Cage. onto that other auger, preventing it from going anywhere crazy. So chop block kills the auger, and that gives Devils a shit ton of Nora. Notably here, because it died to the block at the end of Devils' turn, it won't actually respawn until the start of Devils' next turn. So basically, depending on where it spawns, it might allow him to finish off that auger without Hermaios getting a chance to use it, or, you know, heal it up or something. So that was really well played by Devils, coming back. See, and this is what I was talking about. Devils knows his deck, and he knows the game. So he knows that in this situation, yeah, it sucks to lose the spirit, but like he can still manage to crawl back into it. And Hermaios, I mean, kind of has to make the best of a bad situation here. He grabs the globe for free with Void Mage. He knows he's going to lose this auger. I mean, this auger is toast. It's just going to be paralyzed, so no Kondo won't be able to save it. Then Magnus can just punish it, and then Cull from Exemplar can finish it off. I wonder if Devils has his second Mercy drawn. So with Mercy, what happens is the champ respawns that you cast it on, but you gain Nora equal to its cost. So there, Devils basically gained like 50 Nora from that auger death. And there's a no-con pupil from no-con guide. So these things, what do these things even have? They have Arctic as an upgrade. Okay, interesting. And then complete training. So if they kill something, they get a bunch of stat buffs. All right. So I guess they're not too bad. They're not bad for a summon. Yeah, see, there's the auger back. It has 12 HP. And it is going to get hit by the block again, because of course it's the lowest. It is on 12, so even if Devils drops a second block, usually in these decks you run double block, because 2 blocks is basically the way you clean up that kill after mercying. But even with a second block, it won't be enough. Maybe you could justify like a Bane Blast here, but because I guess with Bane Blast you get this, and the problem now is that you don't get the globes. And that Void Mage is nicely positioned to grab both of these Augur Nora globes, should they die. And I mean, there's kind of an argument to be made that maybe it's not even worth it, like killing them now, because like Hermaios is going to get a ton of globe Nora, and just be fine with equalizing the position. He's actually really out deploying Devils now because of all the additional Nora Devils spent on stuff like block and mercy and whatnot. Yeah, Soul Collection is really potent in situations where you're behind, because you can recoup so much lost Nora by your champions just die, and then you get 15% of their cost back by grabbing the globes for free, and you're denying your opponent Nora. It's really good. It's kind of the reason that it hasn't been on more champions than the Soul Collector till now. But there was a point where it was on Toll Taker for a bit. Totally not my idea, by the way. That was all Maka's idea. I take very little credit for that, although I did suggest, Soul Collection. But Void Mage and Soul Collector are the only 2 champions that have it currently. So yeah, there's the power of Mercy right there. Even with Hermaios grabbing both globes, Devils was able to drop 2 champions. So it's not. That was an interesting early exchange, I gotta say. I don't even want to guesstimate who came ahead on that. I'm gonna say Devils, just because I like Devils more as a player than I do Hermaios. No offense to Hermaios, of course, but I mean he's outnumbering him currently on the board, and the Void Mage kind of needs a bit to ramp up with Portal Walker. The Magnus sitting in the middle of the map, probably not too worried. He has feedback to deal with the range here. Maybe we'll see. Okay, so what is... Oh yeah, so the Magnus is hunted, so maybe we can do like a beset poison burst into some kind of... Oh, he is going for it. Okay, so he's going to poison burst the Magnus this way. Is there going to be... Oh, a landmine. All right, interesting. So there's the mine layer for the knockback. So this is going to be funny. Magnus is going to get knocked back 2 spaces here, and then landmine is going to knock it this way again. What is the guide moving up for? I guess just for an attack. And then the splat of the pupil for follow-up. So there's the burst, and okay, that was nice actually. I was expecting the mine here, but Hermaios put the mine over here so that Magnus would get knocked into the rock trap as well. And actually, even the spatial dysplasia to finish it off, not even bothering to get the last hit with an attack so that your Void Mage remains unparalyzed. And man, just like that, fucking Hermaios getting back into this game, into a dominant position, threatening contest on top side, getting that Spirit Nora Globe over the chasm. So yeah, Hermaios making a... You know what? What's funny, Hermaios probably made more Nora back from those globes than Devils got with Mercy. That's kind of funny. I want to calculate that later off I almost said off stream, but I realized I'm not actually streaming. I'm making a YouTube video. They're basically the same thing, right? I mean, there's no... You're broadcasting content to an audience. That's literally the dumbass explanation of what they both do. But here, I mean... Devils is probably hurting. He's probably realizing that, you know, maybe I bit off more than I could chew here with that Mercy. It put him a little bit behind on tempo, and Hermaios was really able to capitalize on that with the Mind Layer here. Incoming Mind Layer Nurse. Man, Alakami, 62 Nora for this thing? Come on, look at all this damage he's got going. He's got rocks. This is the kind of champion that you really gotta have brains to play right. Is that a Steal Life? Well, he doesn't have Axe Throw on Crusader, so I guess he's gonna drop a second block. And then a Mercy on that guy too. What is he? So wait, why did he not deploy the block in this top font? Is there something else up there that I missed? Something stealthed? Because okay, well yeah, Void Mage is just gonna grab that and then teleport into this font, completely uncontested. I'm wondering if maybe Devils has an initiative champion that he's planning to deploy up here to deal with that. Because otherwise, I mean, he's just like, he got the Mercy kill, but he gave Hermaios a font. This is how important the block is to Devils' deck right now. He didn't even bother deploying it in the font where it could get sniped and killed. He values the block more than he does his control of his fonts. But Hermaios going with another Torton, the Privateer Captain. So this is like, this is basically like I was gonna say Monks at the start, but man, it's looking now, it's looking more now that it's Tortons with knockback. Yeah, because the captain has Summon Landmine as well. I guess that's what you get when you put Poison Burst on a champion as good as Marsh Warden. Kind of get degenerate splits like this. So Crusader taking some damage. Nokon Guide and her illicit daughter just beating the shit out of that knight. And then Marsh Warden respawning in the back. I wonder if there's any logic to how the Mercy champion respawns, because it looks like already that it's spawning better than Lichborn champions do. So like if you're listening to this, please fix Lichborn so that it doesn't spawn at the back of your fucking shrine all the time. I would very much like to see them spawn at the front or like the closest deployment space available. That would be nice quality of life buff. So there's a Crown of Night Barbs. No initiative champion, but Desecration from DevilsRath? So Desecration was buffed to do 8 disease damage now. And it's a pretty good AoE. It does 8 disease damage and then disease 2. So basically 11 disease damage. And it does double to relics, so 16. Retaining its old functionality of just being able to, you know, one-shot relics, but it's more of like an amp disease thing now. Crown of Night Barbs is interesting. I haven't seen that since its old inception. It used to be 8 HP both ways, but now it's more like it's 6, and there was something else that changed about it. I don't remember. There was this really degenerate split with Crown of Night Barbs and spell spam, and I really hated playing against it. I basically blocked it from my memory. It was that PTSD inducing. And the guy that played it was kind of an asshole too, so there's that. But the Mercy takes down the Warden. Or sorry, the blocks take down the Warden. Then, I mean, Hermaios has 3 fonts to 1, but Devils has the Mercy Nora. And it all depends on, this Crusader is just going to keep ramping up. There was a nice play with the Mine, but Hermaios doesn't seem to have much follow-up to that. He has the top font. Maybe, like, if it were me, I would probably just teleport around to the back here and just one-shot those blocks. if I can get in there, and then probably deploy something big and tanky at this font. A second mine layer would be nice because you can put a landmine down here and stop the Mesmer from recontesting with the knockback. Yeah, but now the Nokon guide is looking really alone. Her pupil has died, her one and only daughter, and now she's gonna have to be like, man, I took 9 months shitting that thing out. Now I gotta wait 5 turns and do it all over again. But she's gonna have to retreat here. I don't really see her standing up alone to these big, meaty barbarian women. So Hermaios is actually plunking the Mesmer instead of going for the blocks. I think like that's the linchpin of Devils' deck. I would, oops, I bumped my mic. I'd probably go for the blocks, like just ignore everything and just go for those. I don't know what relics. I'm assuming Hermaios is running like Arctic Whale, because you kind of always run Arctic Whale in ST, or maybe like the dragon head statue thing. But Boghopper Shaman bringing some healing to everybody. A little late for the pupil, but he deploys it over here instead of reinforcing top. I'm guessing he's figuring that Mesmer is as good as dead, and there's a Depths of Despair. A second Depths of Despair. Okay, all right, Devils with the spell spam. I mean, it's doing some damage. It's doing a bunch of damage. Depths of Despair, it doesn't give a condition. Basically, Depths of Despair does 2 additional damage to the first target for every time it's cast. I kind of want to see someone make a Chronomancer split using Depths of Despair or Lost Echoes, the FS variant. Just, spam the shit out of that. Just cast it like 5 times in a single turn and blow something up with 20 Nora spells. Have adaptive champs sitting around the whole time. But the trained no condo onto the mine layer. Man, that's like the antithesis of Tortenhood right there. No condo. Like he's got the reflexes. He can dodge arrows now, despite being a slow-ass turtle. But Nokon Guide knows how to share her secrets. I don't know how I feel about trained no condo. I guess now that no condo has been nerfed, it's probably fine for 6 Nora. As long as you don't spread the ability around too much. Here's another Mercy. Where is that going down? Onto the Void Mage. Wait a minute. Is there something I'm missing? Block, Aura, that's 16. Void Mage is at 18 right now. So block hits that, and then the Aura leaves it at 2? Yeah, I don't know. I think, I doubt that was a miscalc. But I actually didn't know that Mercy... I thought you had to kill the Mercied unit on the same turn. Is that on how that works? Okay, I guess not. It's still showing the Mercy condition. But I mean, I guess Hermaios will have 1 more turn to do what he wills with the Void Mage. So this is why I would have just gone for the blocks and then deployed at this font, because, I mean, now you're probably going to just get grinded down by Devils and lose. Because it doesn't matter how many clever knockbacks you can set up if Devils just keep spamming Mercy on you and gaining a shit ton of Nora each time. So there's the Horn of Order. We're going to see another clever knockback. Maybe? I'm betting it's going to be on... okay, there's going to be an Invigorate here. Probably a Mine here is what I'm thinking. I would go for these Exemplars if possible, but okay, here comes the Void Mage for Spatial Dysplasia. Pulling everyone in. He has to cast it here, right? Because he's out of range if he casts it over here. So I'm assuming he's going to go for the Crusader. There's the knockback. Knockback 3, and then, ooh, is that Reverberating Bracelet for Sonic Burst? Wait, where's the landmine? I guess he didn't have landmine available. He just had to put down a boulder trap. So there's the spatial, and it was a nice attempt, but it's not quite enough. And okay, there's the other Gale Force that he's been waiting on. Actually, the Mercy triggers off of that because it knocks back his own. He had to knock back his own Void Mage. Oh no, that was the Night Barbs works on friendly spells as well. Yeah, so the Night Barbs digging in and killing that Void Mage. So basically, Hermaios gave Devils... He was like, here, take this, Nora. I insist. And Devils was like, all right, thanks. And Devils regains control of his top font because of that. All that just to kill a Crusader and kind of cripple an exemplar. I mean, he's still doing pretty well for himself, to Hermaios' credit. It was a lot of Nora, but he did get that kill, and man, this is a really back and forth game. I'm almost hesitant to give my thoughts on who might win now, because both of these players are far better than me, and I haven't seen either of them play. I kind of know Hermaios' deck from having watched him before, but and of course I know the combo, the Mercy combo, but I haven't seen Devils play this deck recently. So who knows what else he might have up his sleeve. And conscripted warrior for the reinforce. So saving that other exemplar from an untimely demise, refunding a bunch of Nora in the process. And I mean, Nokon Guide's pretty tanky. Now resist physical from the reverb bracelet. And I mean, that'll be another globe here for Hermaios on the following turn. Ooh, Harbinger, get that Nora globe, buddy. 7 here, and yeah, you have exactly 3 AP. Come on, get it. That's a fat-ass Nora globe if I've ever seen one. This is like that pig that's like, may I have some oats, brother? And instead in this game, it's like, may I have some Nora, brother? And then the Nora globe's sitting there, and the Harbinger is like, yeah, give me that shit. So a bunch of Nora globes for Hermaios. Whenever I see someone grab a fat Nora globe like that, I'm always like, well, I guess that kill wasn't really worth it in the end. A lot of the decks I play tend to do like little instances of chip damage, like dots and auras and shit, and my opponent grabs the globe, and I'm like, well, shit, I kind of just wasted a turn because they grabbed 15% of the Nora. I've heard some good players say that it's not really worth it to go for a kill unless you can also grab the globe, but I think that advice is very situation dependent. I wouldn't agree. I would think that, I mean, yeah, like, get the globe if you can, but there's a lot of cases where you just, like, why would you leave a champion alive? Like, there's a lot to go into in that with that claim. But kills are good. Nora is good, but even if you have 1,000 Nora, if you're losing, like, if your shrine is surrounded by champions, probably not going to win the game. So, I would say board presence is worth more than Nora in a lot of cases. But now it's kind of just, the game is kind of stabilized into a turtle situation. I would favor Devils here quite heavily, just because of the blocks. Like, if Hermaios sits back and waits, his champs are going to be wrecked by block. Who's the lowest right now? Is it the Shaman? 45? Actually, it's the Mesmer at 42. Okay, so Devils kind of needs to put some pressure here. You could easily just plink with the Harbinger or something and put that Mine Layer under the block. Then again, that Nora globe. Tasty, tasty globe. Get it. I want to see someone get it eventually. I wonder if he's going to run that conscripted warrior and threaten Hermaios' font. What is that? Another Night Barbs on Argol. Okay. He does take the feedback this time. Now, personally, I am a deflect enjoyer. I enjoy having deflect on my Argols over feedback. But it's up to preference, really. Deflect makes him a lot more expensive. Feedback is nice if you have synergy for it. And I think in Hermaios' deck specifically, feedback is worth more because if you paralyze something, it gives you an opportunity to set up your knockback combos, right? So Mesmer advancing on this font. I'm curious as to why Devils is running the Mesmer. I would be interested in an explanation for this. I guess he's just a good cheap body, and then Paralyze keeps things in place with, you know, the CC, so that you can safely get your mercy kills and block stuff. He's advancing on this font here. He's threatening Hermaios' font over here. So Hermaios is feeling the pinch. Blocks, cutting into Argol, one tentacle at a time. And this is like the blocks into paralyzed Argol, by the way, because of Soul Cage. But yeah, that's like the have any of you seen Higurashi, the anime where the infamous scene where one character gets her fingernails cut off one by one or pulled out? That's like what's happening to Argol right now. He's having his face tentacles pulled out one by the chopping blocks. I actually know someone whose first experience with anime, like their like fresh-faced 7-year-old child self, watching Higurashi back in 2006. And having that be their first experience with anime. And I'm always like, man, People think anime is for kids. You guys, you guys really don't know what you're talking about, do you? You just want to be haters for the sake of being haters. But the mine layer here, I guess, there's no good way to unparalyze the Argyle right now, aside from like Cleansing Storm or whatever. But I was thinking Drive, but no, Drive does loss of life. That doesn't damage it. Is this loss of life? Yeah, it is loss of life. So Hermaios can't even cast a spell to unparalyze the Argyle here. See, whenever I play ST or ST splits, I'm very much a Blinding Reflection enjoyer. I think Blinding Reflection is probably the superior Cleansing Storm in a lot of cases. So you could just Blinding Reflection here, get rid of the paralyze, and then spawn some illusions, block up that conscripted warrior from getting in your font. But Privateer Captain does a knockback, preventing the contest next turn of the Mesmer. I guess Mine Layer just has to use his body to throw himself at the Harbinger, while Hermaios drops another Void Mage for bot side. If I were Devils, I'd just be throwing this conscripted warrior in regardless. He basically served his usefulness with Reinforce already. But yeah, there has been and the Shaman does a little bit of healing here. There has been a lot of back and forth in this game. I'm so glad I got a. I was gonna say I'm so glad I got a high level game for once, but I do enjoy recording low ranked games just as much for different reasons. But I mean, it's always nice once in a while to have two really good players go at it like this. So when it comes to Paralyze from the Mesmer, let's see a hit here on the Argyle. Interesting. Okay, so that brings him down to 10. And then the blocks will finish that off. Regen won't matter here because the blocks happen at the end of Devil's turn. So yeah, that should be a kill, right? Regen won't be saving it. And chat's gonna crucify me for getting this wrong. Okay, yeah, it does get the kill. Good. Because block happens before basically everything else except Devour Life on Essence Devourer. I know that because back in the day, King Willie, prominent FW player of old, used to play Chopping Block extensively, and he told me about it. Because Forsaken Waste was my first faction, and I was in this guild. It was Sirken's... what is it? Sirken's Lords or something? And King Willie was the guild master, and he taught me about Forsaken Waste, and Death Benefit and all that great stuff. Great stuff that everybody loves. Classic FW Death Benefit. Can't be beat. So here's a Fumes, and I guess that works to unparalyze the Captain. Is there going to be another landmine here, I wonder? Pox Harbinger, down to 30. It looks like... Okay, so here's a little nitpick of mine. Summon Landmine does a sound animation whenever you deploy one, I'm pretty sure. Like it creates a sound effect that indicates you've deployed a landmine, and it kind of ruins the surprise, in my opinion. Stuff like Summon Rock Trap, Summon Bone Trap, and Summon Snow Trap also do the same thing. It's only for the when you're actually summoning like a relic. It's not for like deploying a trap ability. But Devil's actually taking the game here off of Hermaios. But I didn't see that coming. I figured Hermaios would play it out. But I guess after he got his bottom font contested, and he realized he was going to lose another champ on the other side, he decided to call it. So well played to both, and we'll see everyone in the next one.